see, this will be his 4th start. He's 1-2. He was brilliant in his first start of the year down in Phoenix. Since then, it's been all about fastball command or lack thereof.
Well, and that's part of the reason why his ERA is at 6. A high walk to strikeout 1-1. Usually see that 2-1 in favor of the strikeouts for Ubaldo. Hey, but it's a different day. Forget about your last start against the Dodgers. You mentioned that Drew, his fastball command was not good. Finally get a start here at home. And then his stride, that was part of the problem last time. He was just overstriding, causing that front side to fly open, leaving his arm behind. And when you do that, you don't have any command of that fastball, and that's what happened to Ubaldo.
Now let's take a look at the gloves behind Ubaldo this evening. In left field, Seth Smith's going to get the start. Center field's Dexter Fowler, Brad Hobson right. Garrett Atkins, Troy Tulowitzki, Clint Barmas at second. Stewart got the start there yesterday. Helton, of course, at first, and Yorvi Torrealba will do the catching tonight. One of the things you have to do when you face the Dodgers, or really any other club, is keep the top 2 guys off base. That has not occurred for the Rockies in their 4 matchups with the Dodgers. They're 0-4. For Colin Hudson, a combined 12 for 29. That's a .414 batting average. They've scored 10 runs. I mean, last night, great example of that. They got in, and here comes Manny, and he lines a single to right. Just like that, it's 1-0.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. And that's one thing that Ubaldo has to do.
That was a strange swing, and the throw by Jimenez is offline. That was like a swinging bunt. I mean, you know what that looked like? That looked like a women's softball swing. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. That's how they attack a lot of times offensively.
Yeah, kind of run up, and what he's trying to do is really slug this ball past Garrett Atkins. It pulls back, and the hands stay apart, much like you used to hear about Ty Cobb with a split hand grip, and that's what Furcal does, just trying to slap it by. And this would have probably been an easier play for Garrett Atkins to try to call Ubaldo off, because he's coming to the ball. Ubaldo's going more towards the line.
So Furcal is on, and Jimenez will deal with Orlando Hudson, who is super hot. Orlando riding a 10-game hitting streak, hitting .475 during that stretch. His on-base percentage the last 10 is .563. And if he gets a knock tonight, he'll match his career high for a hitting streak.
That's why the Dodgers have done what they've done. First of all, you got Furcal at first, now Hudson before Manny.
And 2-0. The approach will not change against Ubaldo Jimenez until he can prove that he consistently stays ahead in the count. Otherwise, guys are going to wait him out. This stuff's too nasty.
Yep.
This should be an easy play for Tulowitzki. 1 out. And that'll bring up Manny Ramirez.
Orlando hit that right off the end of the bat. This cool weather, those hands are going to sting all night long. Orlando had a little bit of problems with this during batting practice. Watching them take batting practice, the Dodgers today, he did the same thing. Hit one right off the end, went down in the tunnel with the trainers, and now here in the ball game, hits it right off the end again.
And that's the run on the fastball.
Oh, yeah, and that's what it's talking about when the weather's like it is. Advantage to the pitcher.
45 degrees is the game time temperature. It's just passed along to us. Ramirez last night, a couple of more knocks going to right field. Joe Torre was saying before the game, he's such a smart hitter, and he really doesn't get credit for that. He will take what you give him. I mean, he does not have to hit the ball over the wall every at bat or look to. If you're going to pitch him away, he'll go away. In fact, he had a round at batting practice. I don't know if you saw it, Huey. He hit 3 straight balls over the wall in right field.
Well, that's why he's not afraid to go to right field. You figure it with Manny Ramirez. Do you want to try to come inside and let him try to hook the ball to left field? No, if he's going to beat me, he's going to have to beat me to the opposite gap. So he takes his singles, doubles that way.
0-2 on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Ramirez, a career .345 hitter against the Rockies. And this year, the Dodgers as a club in 4 ball games hitting .379. Big reason they're 4-0. That's going to go foul. You know, this is somewhat similar, Huey, to last year, how this season series started a year ago.
Yep.
The Rockies lost their first 5 against the Dodgers and then actually outplayed LA for the most part the rest of the way. Won 2 of 3 series in LA.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope that trend continues this year. Clint Hurdle mentioned before the ball game, they just need to clean up all 3 areas right now: pitching, hitting, and defense.
They need a little confidence. I mean,
well, yeah,
let's
sure.
face it. Even at this level, your confidence,
well,
right,
it's such
comes
a
and
fine
goes.
line. And that's the thing, the fine line of your confidence, even at the major league level, as you mentioned, Drew, there's guys that struggle mentally, and that's all it takes just to have that edge for the other team.
And if not for a good play by Todd Helton, that ball's up the right field line.
It was nice to have a guy like Helton over there. You know, you just have to throw it in the vicinity. He'll catch it.
And Manny hits it in the air to right field. Brad Hopp will have it. And that is the second out. I like how he went after him. He didn't mess around and end up in a 2-2, 3-2 count. He went after him with heat inside, and he got a fly ball to right field.
Here's my fastball. Hit it if you can. They think about this now. After what he did to Orlando Hudson, fell behind 2-0, got Hudson. Since then, it's just boom, boom, boom. Here you go.
Now here's Andre Ethier. A couple of more hits last night. He's got the average to .311. He gets a breaking ball that misses, ball 1. Ethier, big star at Arizona State. Just tremendous ability. In fact, last week he was the player of the week in the National League. Runner going, and Torrealba's throw is not quite in time. And I thought Torre did a very good job. He came and met that ball. He saw it was outside and away. He came and met that thing almost out in front of the plate.
Well, he had to. I mean, Baldo was pretty quick to the plate. 1-2-5 to the plate. But then Yorva realized that he's got to get it and get rid of it. The swipe tag from Troy, just the speed from Furcal. Got a good jump. Was able to slide towards the back side of the bag for his second stolen base this year.
Ethier takes that one. It's a 2-1 count. Ethier a little more patient than he was a year ago, and he had a good year last year. He's a very, very good player now. His upside is,
well,
I don't want to say off the charts, but he can be one of the 8 or 10 best hitters in the National League. He has that kind of ability.
And his swing, I mean, it's just a picture perfect swing. It's nice to see. It's all the attributes you look for. It's there. He's got good balance, good hands, hand-eye coordination, all of it. But yeah, he's only going to get better. And we've seen him already for a couple years, just how much he's improved.
Baldo added a couple of amps on that one. That was up to 96 miles an hour.
Ethier so far against the Rockies hitting over 400, 412, couple home runs, 10 RBIs.
4 games, the Rockies have allowed the Dodgers to score 33 runs. Colorado scored 15. Here's the 2-2. And a great piece of hitting to drive in a run from Andre Ethier. Well, that was a pretty good breaking ball, but Furcal scores, and it's 1-0 LA.
We were just talking about Ethier's swing and how nice it was. He just stays on the plane of that breaking pitch. It was a slider. The Hyundai cam will be able to see the rotation on the baseballs. Notice the torque and the way that's spinning, but Ethier keeps his head on there, and the bat stays through the zone a long time. That allows him to just hit the ball to the opposite field. And of course, for Carl's speed, that's an easy play, even if Dexter Fowler does not bobble it out in center field.
That stolen base is huge.
Yep.
You know, the little slug bunt, whatever you want to call it, to start out for Kyle. He reaches any way you can as a leadoff hitter. One 1-0 on James Loney. 6 of the last 7 games now, the opposition has scored first against the Rockies. The Rockies have just 1 win during that time.
Well, there's a correlation because you just feel like you're battling uphill the rest of the game. You're always trying to play catch up. You can't do some things that you normally would like to do. That'd be hit and run. Bunts, all those little things that you can do to manufacture runs.
A little small example, too, of where Ubaldo has to be better. And it's not to nitpick. I mean, he's thrown 11 strikes and 17 pitches. Last 2 hitters, Ethier 1-1, that's a swing count. 1-1 pitch, he misses, it's 2-1. Just now to Loney, 1-1 pitch, he misses. Now he's got to come in there, and this ball slicing away from Seth Smith. It's going to land in fair territory. Smith does a good job picking it up. It's going to be a double. Holding at third base is Ethier. And now you're a hit away from being down 3-0.
That's right. And what you talked about, your confidence as a hitter. If you're 1-2 compared to 2-1 is huge, and that's exactly the count that James Loney's in. He's able to drop it down the left field line.
Huey, you're talking about well over 100-point difference in batting average. This is big leagues. This is everybody. When you talk about a 2-1 count for a hitter versus 1-2.
Right, and even though he didn't hit that ball particularly well, and it does drop just inside of the line, it's still the matter that he has the confidence when he goes to swing at it that he's going to put the ball in play somewhere good. What a play by Seth Smith, though, Drew. You mentioned it. That ball had every markings of getting by him and going down into the corner for a possible inside the park home run.
Could be huge if Ubaldo can get Russell Martin down the line. Won't happen. It's going to be 3-0. Martin punches a single down the first base line, and the Dodgers are off and running again. You know what? Those last 2 balls, you say, well, they weren't hit hard, but guess what? The Dodgers put them in play.
And all with 2 outs. I mean, that's the backbreaker. You have what you think. You get Manny Ramirez out. And now they've added a couple more runs. I mean, this problem with that pitch, though, it was up. It was belt high. Hit it past the diving Todd Helton, driving in a couple runs. But when you elevate that ball and it stays flat, stays on the same plane without any sink, guys are going to be able to hit it hard.
And Martin 6 for 14 in his career against Jimenez. This is Matt Kemp. And he gets a curveball for a strike. And you just look out in the field, and the body language is great.
Yeah.
It's like, here we go again.
It's just human nature to do that.
Yeah, obviously, the Rockies haven't even gotten up. This game is in its infancy. But once again, as you said, you're playing uphill.
Yeah.
You have the guy with the best stuff on your staff out there, and he's down 3-0. And you haven't seen the bat rack. It's frustrating. And here's another knock. Stopping at second is Russell Martin.
Right now, somebody's got to go talk to Ubaldo for a second. Give him a chance to catch his breath. That's exactly what's going to happen. See Bob Apodaca coming out.
Let me ask you something. You face guys that threw extremely hard in your 10+ years in the big leagues. Ubaldo Jimenez is one of the hardest throwers in the game. Yet, at this stage of his career, he doesn't miss a lot of bats. You don't see a ton of swing and misses. And we talk about the run on his fastball. It's not necessarily straight. Why is that?
Well, a lot of times what happens even though you throw hard, and sometimes you try to throw harder and the ball straightens out. And I think that's what's happening to Ubaldo right now. It's not coming out of his hand as clean because he's already given up some hits. He's behind the 3-0 already, so that ball stays flatter. And that's the problem, and that's the thing he's got to learn how to do, is to be able to, even when he's trailing in the ballgame, be able to cut the baseball just a little bit more.
Casey Blake, the 8-hole hitter. Never good when the 8-hole comes up in the first inning, unless he's on your team. That's in there for a strike. We'll identify our home plate umpire. It's Randy Marsh, the crew chief. Here's Randy. Lance Barksdale at first, James Hoy at second, Adrian Johnson is at third. Jimenez needs to get Blake. That was too good a pitch.
Well, and that's the thing. I just looked up there. 23 pitches. Now he has thrown 17 for strikes, but to me, what that's telling me is too many have been right over the middle of the part of the plate. Has not been able to work the corners, inside, outside, to keep the guys honest. Say, well, I can't just look away, or I just can't look in. I can't just look fastball.
Oh, 2. Blake didn't bite. It's 1-2. Jimenez has to take over the mindset that Aaron Cook had to adopt last night. Go, okay, you know what? They touched me early. Let me throw a bunch of. Let me get this guy and throw a bunch of zeros up.
Which you can capable of doing.
Yeah, you can still have a very good outing, give your club a chance to win. But that's not going to help. Line drive to right. Here comes Martin to the plate. He'll score. And safe at third base is Matt Kemp. 5 hits, 4 runs here in the opening frame against Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, the last 3 guys have taken the ball to right field. First it was Russell Martin, then Matt Kemp, and now Casey Blake. Another pitch, 1-2. Catches too much of the plate, comes back over. I mean, he's just able to cover that ball looking away. Up tries to throw out Kemp at third base. That's the only option he had. He just runs too well.
James McDonald, right-handed pitcher, hits from the left side. Keep in mind, he was an outfielder before being converted to pitching in his professional career. He didn't hit enough as an outfielder, but you would figure then as a pitcher he automatically becomes becomes a pretty good hitting pitcher. And Ubaldo misses. It's 2-0. The absolute last thing the Rockies needed. They needed a quick and efficient inning, get to the dugout. They needed Ubaldo to get some confidence back after 2 rough outings, and it's not happened. Mentioned this when we saw McDonald last week. He's got family here in Denver. Darnell and Donzel McDonald, Cherry Creek High School, and professional baseball. Of course, Darnell now with the Cincinnati Reds, former #1 pick. There's Cousins. That's in there, 2-2. And James's dad played in the NFL for a little bit as a wide receiver.
About those family barbecues.
Yeah. Strike 3. McDonald's got. Jimenez sees every Dodger in the lineup. 4 cross home plate. To an ugly start. It's 4-0 LA as the Dodgers get 6 hits against Ubaldo Jimenez in the first. Clint Hurdle has this lineup written down, and they need to be productive early against James McDonald. Dexter Fowler will lead off. Seth Smith will follow. Then Todd Helton, a couple more hits last night for Todd. Garrett Atkins in the cleanup spot. Troy Tulowitzki will follow Brad Hopp. He walked 4 times last night. That is a career high. Clint Barmas, a 2-run pinch hit home run yesterday. Yorvik Torrealba swung the bat in limited duty this year. And then Jimenez. So Dexter steps in. 262 average, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. And McDonald's first pitch is away, ball 1.
Well, your mindset now for the Rockies in the offense is just got to try to chip away this first inning. Get one back somehow, some way. Doesn't matter what you do, just to get a little bit of the momentum back to your side of the dugout.
And McDonald starts 3-0. Joe Torre, who's seen everything in the game at least 5 times. He's saying, come on now.
Just takes you to 4-0 lead.
And he's not going to have to say it. Russell Martin's going to come out and say it. Russell could have said it in French to James, and I think James would have gotten the message.
He would have understood it in any language. Throw or strike.
That's a good idea when it's 0-0. He may have said, hey, look at that big scoreboard out there in left center field. See what it says? We have 4. They don't have anything yet. This ball's hitting center field pretty well. Matt Kemp going back, still going back, and he chases it down. I don't think he realized how well that was hit initially.
When he took his route after the baseball, there's no way he's going to be able to catch up to this. Dexter hit that right on the screws. Kemp's playing fairly shallow and goes after it hard and gets it, reaches up at the last second. Well, this is just pure speed out there.
And Dexter hit that into a wind because the wind is blowing left to right. Seth Smith pinch hit last night. He struck out against one of those Jonathan Broxton sliders. Chris Iannetta ended the game with a strikeout, but was on, I think, pitch number 10 or 11, and he handled 100-mile-an-hour heat.
He did. I mean, there's nothing. The pitch that he struck out on was a hard slider. You can't cover both of those.
Loney, 2 outs. Let's take a look at the Fidelity scouting report on 24-year-old James McDonald, an 11th round pick back in 2002.
Well, look at that, 6 walks, only 4 strikeouts. A classic delivery. I mean, just straight up, over the top, Iron Mike type, but the pitching machine that guys hit off of in the wintertime. And then second time, you saw this guy out in L.A. The first time, to me, a pitcher has the advantage. Now the hitters know where that ball's coming from. They'll have a better opportunity this time seeing Mr. McDonald.
Here's Helton. Todd slices it foul. It would not be a Todd Helton at bat if he didn't hand out a couple of souvenirs. He's the most gracious hitter in baseball.
By the end of the night, I'll probably hand out about 10.
Pop fly, short center field. Matt Kemp. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for James McDonald. 4-0 LA. We're off to inning number 2 at Coors Field.
Dodgers are ahead 4-0. Let's take a look at their first keys to the game tonight. Make a statement. I know the 5th game against the Dodgers. It's time to put your foot down. Take a little back onto your side, and then consistency. It's not just been one area. Pitching, defense, hitting, they've all not been very good. You need to do that, and then no Broxton tonight. Joe Torre cannot afford to go back to Jonathan Broxton. He's not going to pitch. 52 pitches in the last 2 days. He just has to give him a day off.
Here's the 1-1 on Furcal, line foul. I'm glad you brought that up in your bird keys to the game. If you can knock McDonald out of there early, and McDonald was on a pitch count last week, so it's not like he's going to have 100 pitches. It's unlikely. You don't have Broxton at the back end. They don't really have a bridge to Broxton, as we discussed last night with the injury to Corey Wade. Quo would probably be the guy they'd go to tonight, perhaps.
Yeah,
he's throwing a little bit. So they don't have a lot of options down there. It sets up nicely, but now you're down 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, and that's why the Dodgers is just hoping that McDonald can go out there. They can tack a couple more runs on. But if you're the Rockies, you have to be sitting there going, okay, no Broxton, probably no Quo because he has thrown a lot. Belisario, who threw last night, is going to be out. So their options, the Dodgers' options, are very limited out in the bullpen. The guy that would probably close, in my mind, would have to be Will Ullman or Guillermo Mota. One of those two guys is going to have to close.
Here's the 3-2, and that's nowhere near the strike zone. Ball 4 for Furcal, leadoff walk. Furcal has now been on twice. Here's what they've done against the Rockies this year. Rafael and Orlando Hudson.
Well, you're talking about those kind of numbers. I mean, that's why Manny's doing what he's doing, Ethier's doing what he's doing, and their lineup has been so successful.
That's why you've gotten beat handily 4 times.
And the other troubling fact for Ubaldo this year, now 10 out of the first 18 guys, leadoff guys, have reached base. I mean, just pitching with traffic all the time. And Orlando Hudson's not a guy that's afraid to take pitches either, to let Furcal try to steal another base.
Rafael a stolen base in the first inning. Hudson 3rd in the league in hitting. Left field, Seth Smith is there. I don't know if I've ever seen an inning where Ubaldo gave up that many hits, anywhere close to that. I mean, he's had, every pitcher does. He had some rough innings. 6 hits in that first inning, 5 singles and a double against Jimenez. Manny was one of the outs in the first inning. There was 2 outs, and Furcal at second base. No runs had come across, but then an Ethier single, a Loney double, Martin a 2-run single. And he hit a fly ball to Brad Hopt in the first. And he's on base percentage just a notch below 500, which is tops in the National League. I'm talking to Mark Sweeney, who's now a coach with the Dodgers. Former Rocky, former Dodger, former Padre. We don't have enough time to list all his teams, but Mark, who retired after last season, said Manny's not even hot. Runner going, fouled off. How about that? Manny's not even hot.
How can you say that when the guy's hitting 350? I mean, that's how good a hitter he is. I guess when he hits 400, that's when he starts to get hot.
Well, last year he came pretty close to hitting 400 for half a season.
No doubt when he wants to play, he's one of the best.
Swung on and missed. And Ubaldo with a strikeout of Ramirez. 2 outs.
Just behind that Cam, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. He just rears back the old four-seamer. Man, he was just tardy on it. Anytime you see the bat go underneath the baseball, that just means your trigger point before you go to swing is late getting to the point of where the baseball is. This is where Furcal, with a left-handed hitter, looks to steal a base.
That's what he did last time with Ethier at the plate. He went on a 1-0 pitch.
Yeah, probably not going to do it with Manny. With Ethier, though, you block the catcher's view just for a brief second.
Ethier with 20 RBIs, second in the league to Pujols.
What I was talking about just a second ago, Drew, the catcher is blocked by the left-handed hitter, and this is a great shot that we're getting here, and this is what he has to peek around to try to figure out where Furcal is. And then you have to rely on your first baseman or your second baseman to yell, "There he goes," to let him know that he indeed has taken off trying to steal a base.
Pujols a moment ago. Albert hit another home run today. This ball to deep right field and foul. It was a grand slam. So in all likelihood, Ethier's going to still trail Pujols tomorrow morning in RBIs.
Puts him over 1,000 for his career, right, Doug?
Pujols. He got there. Hitter. He got there quick. 8-2. St. Louis beat the Cubs. Talk about a team hitting the baseball. St. Louis and Toronto tied top the big leagues with a 302 team average. The Dodgers are next at 295. And those three teams have the 3 best records in the game right now. Dodgers, Toronto, and St. Louis.
1-2 count. Good pitch to run on if you're Furcal.
Off the end of the bat, fouled off by Ethier.
I like the 1-2 count to try to steal. A couple reasons. If you steal the base and it's a ball, now it's 2-2 count. If something happens, you get thrown out. You got Ethier leading off the next inning with a clean slate.
Baldo's thrown 46 pitches already, 2 outs in the second inning. 4-0 LA. There he goes, not close, and no chance for Torrealba. You had him at 2-0, which is major league average on the throw.
I mean, that's just a good throw from Yorvin. It's the jump. Notice how Furcal was leaning before the pitch was even delivered to the plate. When that happens, that tells me that the base runner is seeing something out of the delivery of the pitcher that's tipping him off, saying he's going to go home.
2-2. Ethier hits it in the air to Seth Smith. Easy play. Smith makes the catch. There was a walk to Furcal, and then Jimenez got the next 3 hitters. 4-0 LA, middle of 2. At Taco Bell, you know the drill. If the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 in the afternoon. Feed your fever with 4 tacos for $1 with the purchase of a drink. Garrett Atkins against James McDonald. Rockies went 1-2-3 in the first. That's on the inside corner at 90 for a strike. Pretty good bite on that curveball. It was wide though, 1-1. Garrett yesterday was 1 for 5. He's the only Rockies player to start every ball game. And this ball toward the gap in right center field. Ethier slides over and makes the catch. Let's take a look at the gloves for the Dodgers. Manny Ramirez, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier in the outfield. Blake for Kyle, Hudson and Loney in the infield. And Russell Martin is behind the plate. 1 out. That'll bring up Brad Hopp. Brad was paid a very nice compliment prior to the ball game in a conversation I had with Joe Torre. We were talking about Todd Helton. And he said, you know, that's still the guy you fear. He said he's just so good. He's so disciplined. He said you get 2 strikes on him, it's no big deal. He said you go and bring a lefty in, he could care less. He said the other guy, he said, that's really improved for me, and he already was a good hitter, is Brad Hopp. He said his plate discipline has gotten better, and he sees Brad elevating his game.
Well, and that's why. I mean, when your plate discipline gets better, you start to swing at better pitches. You don't expand the zone. Although he did on that one, I mean, that's just a good changeup. But that just shows you the respect that Brad's starting to get from opposing managers now. You had plenty of opportunities to drive in runs, and once you continually show the ability to do that, drop in base hits to left field, manager's going to say, you know what, I'm starting to fear this guy too.
And that's what good hitters too. Yeah. They use the off-field. Brad with a single.
Well, that's one area to me that Brad really improved. The ability with 2 strikes. Yeah, he's still going to strike out a lot, but he's still now has the ability to just dump that ball into left field.
Yeah. Time now for our Mike Shaw auto update with Alana.
Thanks very much, Drew. Just wanted to expand a little bit more on what you were saying earlier about James McDonald. You mentioned he was an outfielder. That was the 2004-2005 season in the minor leagues. And he obviously wasn't that great at the plate. Low 2 to mid 2s is what he was hitting. However, they knew his viable path to the majors was on the mound. He returned to the mound in 2005 and then was named 2007 and 2008 minor league pitcher of the year for the Dodgers in their farm system. And I've been told by our friends on the other side of the field with the LA broadcast that his hand is so big that when he has a baseball in his hand, he can touch his pinky and his thumb. Those are pretty big hands, Drew.
Wait a second. Say that again.
Pinky
to his thumb with the baseball in his hand. That's pretty hard to do.
My.
Do we have a baseball up here?
I don't think so.
Tulowitzki fouls this back.
Nope.
No baseballs
no
tonight?
No baseball tonight.
I was going to try that. Do we have a golf ball? I want to see if I can do it with a golf ball.
Reminds me of Johnny Bench being able to stick, what, 7 baseballs in his hand?
Yeah, that's pretty absurd. Johnny Bench was in town last week. In fact, Mark Stout caught up with him. Tulowitzki now behind 1-2. One out, Hop at first. Tulo with the 4 walks last night. Give you an idea, he's seeing the ball decently, though he's still 0 for his last 9 at the plate. He has not had a multi-hit game yet this year, which is a big surprise. This ball toward right center field, and again, Ethier got a good jump.
It's been the key to the 2 plays in this inning, Drew. The first one off the bat of Garrett Atkins, that one off the bat of Troy Tulowitzki. At the jump that he got out there. We talk about this guy, his ability to hit. Now we're starting to see some defense. It jumps out in right field. That's easier for MVP.
A little early for that.
A little early.
Clint Barmas came off the bench and looked to be the hitting star for the Rockies, down a couple of runs in the 8th inning against Crow. A pinch hit 2-run home run to tie things at 5. The Rockies' momentum, though, is short-lived. Blake will go the short way to Orlando Hudson. The Rockies are done in the 2nd. We'll go to the 3rd. It is all Dodgers, 4-0. Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Discover the incredible, amazing you at Expedition Health. And by AMCO, AAMCO. It's an interesting cloud formation above the downtown area, 4-0 LA. As we go to the 3rd inning. James Loney will step in against Ubaldo Jimenez. He had a slicing double down the left field line in that 4-run first for the Dodgers. Takes a curveball for a strike. Dodgers with 12 hits yesterday. They have a half dozen already tonight. And this one will be cut off by Barnes. This play on the backhand side. And as Huey, you like to teach young infielders, make sure the head is behind the glove on the backhand side.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that. I thought once that ball got by Ubaldo, I had a chance to get out into the outfield, but Clint, with his range at second base, was able to get on. And here it is. He squared up as that ball is crossing the plate, and then crosses over, takes the right foot to the baseball, sets and plants himself, gets a good throw over to first base. But you're right, that head has to be behind the glove to be able to look it all the way in.
See some young players, when that glove gets deep, as you know, they lose the baseball for a smidge, and it's enough not to field it cleanly.
And you end up off the heel or off the end of the glove.
1-1 strike on Russell Martin. He punched a 2-run single to right his first time up. Dodgers hit around in that 4-run first. Slider misses. It's 3-1.
Whoever wanted that pitch. So he went out, tossed the ball back.
.94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Martin didn't catch up. It's a 3-2 count.
The old tardy swing. He was like, I want to swing at it. No, I don't. Okay, I'll go ahead and swing. And not a very good aggressive cut. 3-1. Little
blooper behind the mound, and Tulowitzki initially, I think, thought that was hit farther than it was. He took kind of a circuitous route to the baseball and had to reach down and catch it almost below his waist. 2 outs.
Russell Martin just hit this right above his top hand. I mean, that's how far that ball got into his kitchen. And Troy, you're right, took a couple steps back. When a guy takes that big of a swing, you're thinking automatically it's got to go a little bit further, and he had to readjust and change on the fly.
Sliders high to Matt Kemp. Joe Torre said something I thought was very interesting before the game. You know, from a hitter standpoint, we always talk about good hitters let the ball travel. They're not afraid to let the ball get deep, because if you get too pull conscious, you got problems.
Oh, yeah.
And he said 2 things have changed about the game from a hitter standpoint. Hitters don't care about striking out anymore. I mean, striking out 150, 200 times. He said nobody even think about it in my day. He said Lou Brock had 99 strikeouts the last day of the season. That got a piece of Matt Kemp. The last day of the season, Lou Brock sat down because the game was meaningless. He did not want the distinction of striking out 100 times. Now players don't worry about it. But the second part of the equation, he said, guys today, they don't worry about strikeouts. He goes, but it's like a macho thing. They don't want to get beat inside. Yep. They don't want to get jammed. And so therefore you have a lot of guys who are out front and are afraid to let the ball get deep. And he said, you know what, good hitters do get jammed because they let the ball travel.
They do, but then there's a correlation about the high strikeouts. If you're going to be susceptible and say, okay, I'm not getting beat inside, then they can go away. They can throw the curveball, the changeup. But if you say, I'm not going to get beat inside, strikeout total is going to go up.
That's right.
I mean, it's just the way it works.
But occasionally you will get jammed. That's a huge jump for Kemp. And Matt Kemp with a stolen base. But if you're going to handle the pitch away, you are going to get beat some inside.
You are. It's just the way it is.
I thought it was interesting, though, how he put it. He said, good hitters will get jammed.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to get jammed.
And the reason being because you think, okay, I'm going to let the ball travel. I'm going to use my hands. And if he beats me in, I can still try to flare it off, get jammed, hit it over the infielders. Well, with that stolen base, now you go ahead and walk Casey Blake to get to McDonald with 2 outs. Only problem now is it flipped the lineup over for the next inning.
And that's why Torre didn't mind running out of the 7-hole.
Yeah.
He knew that if Kemp is successful, they're going to pass on Blake, and he gets the lineup flipped over. And the more that Rafael Furcal and Hudson and Ramirez and Ethier can hit, the better for the Dodgers. Torre also told a story about when he was playing. He said, I'd hit some ugly foul balls, jam shots. And he said, I'd look over in the on-deck circle, and whoever was in the on-deck circle sometimes have his head down, covering his face, trying not to laugh.
Yeah, but then eventually you get a pitch, because a pitcher will make a mistake, and then you do your damage with it. I had the same conversation with Don Baylor during spring training. He said the same thing. Hey, Groove used to be, if he struck out 50 to 60 times in a year, he was saying, well, you know, that's a high total for him. And that's just how the game has evolved and changed.
Hard to third. Atkins knocks it down. And he just did get McDonald. The former outfielder James McDonald got up the line pretty good. A hit batter, an intentional walk, 2 men left, 4-0 LA, middle of 3 at Coors Field. and Dexter Fowler in the third inning. If your windshield's chipped or cracked, don't wait. Here's what you do. You call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com.
Pretty close play at first base in that last inning. Good job for Adam McDonald. Hit it down to Garrett Atkins. Hyundai can see exactly what allowed that play to be called out was a stretch of Todd Helton. Coming off the bat, getting out there right before the foot of McDonald hit.
Yorvik didn't play last night. Chris Sinet had a couple of hits. And Torrealba takes a strike. Dougie did a little homework on Don Baylor. In 8,198 at-bats, he struck out 1,069 times. It's 17+ seasons in the big leagues. Here's Loney to McDonald. 17+ seasons for Baylor. He struck out. He's a power hitter.
Yeah.
Talking about. He struck out more than 75 times in the season. Only 3 times.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, he used to get frustrated and mad when he got that home or the strikeout total high like that. Now, if you strike out 75 times, that's a good year for a lot of guys.
Some guys had that. Some guys had that in early June.
Yeah. Reynolds down in Arizona.
He has that mid-May. Two balls, no strikes on Ubaldo Jimenez. Game number 5 at Coors Field for the Rockies this year, just 1 win. Rockies have played the fewest home games in baseball. Next on that list would be the Detroit Tigers. 3-1.
Detroit's on the road again tonight, aren't they, in Kansas City?
Yes, they are. They're winning 8-1. Jimenez draws a walk. Take a look at our Geico quote of the day. Tommy Lasorda, the only way I'd worry about the weather is if it snows on our side of the field and not theirs. Well, Tommy, that would be problematic for your club. That would also be some strange meteorological occurrence.
Hanging it around Yogi again.
Yogi'd say, Tommy's got nothing on me. Fowler drove the ball to deep center field his first time up. In fact, I think he may have flirted with a home run if the wind wasn't blowing in. Now it's 2-0 on Dexter. Another meeting at the mound between Russell Martin and James McDonald. McDonald, one season in the minor leagues, Lana was talking about this, was a two-way guy. It was Brooks Kieschnick.
You're right. Yeah. Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, one Milwaukee Brewer. I remember
Milwaukee Brewer.
He was doing both for the Brewers.
Yeah.
He was a pinch hitter for them and also one of their relief pitchers.
A little bit like Micah Owings now for the Reds.
Dusty Baker, just like Bob Melvin used to do in Arizona, uses him as a pinch hitter on a regular basis. He won a ball game for him with a pinch hit 2-run double in the last week. 3-0 on Dexter.
Brooks Kieschnick. That was a name from the past.
Yeah. In this organization for a while.
UT?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. That just did catch the strike zone. It's 3-1.
Hey, fans looking for the perfect place to entertain? Coors Field Suites, party facilities, and picnic areas offer a unique atmosphere designed to fit any event and any budget. Be sure to ask about the buy one, get one free offer. Call 303-312-2444 to reserve your game date today.
Ball 4, and Fowler draws a walk. That'll push Jimenez to second. First time the Rockies have seen second base. And Seth Smith will come up. Rocky sensing an opportunity. Rick Honeycutt sensing a problem. Back-to-back walks.
Torrey's been like, I guess when you manage as many games as he's managed, seen as many things as he's seen, you've already said what, seen everything about 5 times.
Yeah.
His expression just doesn't change.
No, it doesn't. A great deal.
There.
And I think you know this to be true. Whatever you do in this game, George tells a great story about the Hall of Famer Lou Brock when he came up with St. Louis. When Georgie came up, he said Lou Brock used to just put his hand across and just kind of wipe it straight across. And you know what? Good or bad or indifferent, you got to keep that even keel.
Well, especially for a manager. I mean, I played for some managers that would get all excited, get up and down, and then your emotions kind of swung with theirs.
It's hard to manage. I'm not talking about literally manage as Joe Torre and Clint Hurdle do it. I mean, just manage a season that way. There's too many ups and downs, highs and lows.
You're going to get frustrated. The thing is, a manager, you got to make sure you do it in private.
There's the good changeup from McDonald. 1 ball, 1 strike on Seth Smith. Seth hit a weak ground ball to Loney his first time up.
Back-to-back changeups. First time in the ball game that McDonald's tried to do that.
Three and 1.
Seth can get on and get the bases loaded for Todd with 1 out.
You know, McDonald has thrown only 43 pitches to this juncture. 22 strikes, 21 balls, not the ratio he's looking for. And this ball pulled toward the hole. That's a base hit. Jimenez gets a green light. Ethiers throws going to third. It's offline. Fowler's there standing up. Rockies are on the board. Seth Smith makes it 4-1. Richie Dowler said, we need a run. I don't care if the pitcher's running.
That's okay.
We're sending him.
Yeah, put the pressure back on the defense. Well, sometimes that's the way you get things changed and get the momentum on your side. That fastball from McDonald. Seth Smith ahead in the count, 3-1. Just a straight 4-seamer right down the heart of the plate. Gets on top of it a little bit, but just powers it through between first and second. Dexter had to jump up to get out of the way. And even Ethier trying to throw to third base with Dexter's speed gets over there easily.
Now Helton, ball 1. Todd hit a fly ball to center field his first time.
Todd's angry with himself. One of the few times you'll see him show a little bit of emotion.
It wasn't a 1-0 swing.
No, it wasn't. It was a change-up, and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get another fastball. It's fortunate he was able to foul it off, but he was a little disgusted with that swing.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Atkins on deck. Rockies right now as a club hitting just .228 with runners in scoring position. Last year it was well below their standards. They were at .256. 2 years ago they were at .276 when they went to the World Series. And this is chipped down the line, foul.
What is that, 5 souvenirs now so far for the fans off the bat of Todd Helton?
Yeah, we should keep track every night.
What did I say? First inning was at 10, didn't I?
Yeah.
Halfway there, and he still has 2, possibly 3 at bats left.
And we showed that graphic a moment ago. How many pitches Todd sees per at bat? 4.5 per at bat, which is always among the league leaders. Bobby Abreu's always near the top. Strike 3. Got fooled on a curveball.
Yeah, he did. Just locked him up. Well, with Uncle Charlie, 12-6 curveball just froze him.
First strikeout for McDonald, timely from his standpoint.
Right over the top. And it was so good that Russell Martin wasn't even able to catch it, but that just split the plate. And Grimace to Todd Help.
Garrett Atkins will try to pick him up. Fowler's at third, Seth Smith at first. Garrett, who really struggled with runners in scoring position a year ago, is off to a slow start. He's just 4 for 23, a 174 average.
It's part of the reason why overall the team's runners in scoring positions not any better.
You know, like last year, even though the Rockies haven't hit the ball very well since the opening series in Arizona, they haven't been devoid of opportunity. Last year they had a ton of men on, among the league leaders in runners on base, runners in scoring position. McDonald trying to set up his changeup or his hook with that pitch.
Yeah, his curveball. That's one pitch that we saw him strike out Todd, and then Garrett, he's thrown it already 3 times, a curveball to him. Going back in with the fastball.
Again. Yeah. And you get that kind of reaction, no swing, 3-1, Huey, from Atkins. I mean, he's thinking, like you and I are up there, he's thinking, you know what, 2-1, he did set me up soft, and that's why when the heater comes in, that's why he's committed and almost went around.
Yeah, and it's only 90 miles an hour, but it looks like about 95. Because you're looking away, you're looking for something soft.
Ball 4, and that'll load the bases for Brad Hop, who has probably been the most consistent offensive performer for the Rockies all year. Right man at the right time. Hop with the bases loaded at 2 outs. Rockies trailing 4-1 in the third. Outside, ball 1. Brad, 2 outs, runners in scoring position this year, 3 for 5. In the World Series season of 07, he hit 377.
Yeah, it seems like every time he came through in the clutch with 2 outs, he was the man.
Something else Torrey said about Hop, he said the other thing that really scares you about Brad is there's natural loft to his swing. So if you make a mistake, oftentimes it goes 420 feet.
Yeah, he doesn't create it. That's just the way he was made. That's his swing path. Creates the high arc.
Good eye.
And that's the pitch. That's the swing pitch that you talk about, but it's also the pitch as a hitter that your eyes get really big, but you never catch up to it. I mean, how many times you see it? That one right at the letters. Oh, I want to swing at it, and you do, and you swing through it. Now it's 1-2. Instead of 2-1.
And the changeup, and it's 3-1. McDonald with the bases loaded, nowhere to put Hop. A hitter's dream, all the pressure on the guy in the middle of the ball field.
It's the 5th third ball count of this inning already for McDonald.
He's walked 3 in the inning and given up an RBI hit to Smith. Ground ball bouncing up the middle, on through. That'll score 2. Brad Hop comes through, and the Rockies within a run of LA. RBIs 12 and 13 for the club leader, Brad Hop. Found a hole.
Well, it did. Hey, you're ahead in the count. You go ahead and swing. Well, Orlando Hudson played way over in the hole. We've seen him do this numerous times off the bat of Brad Hop, playing very, very deep. But he's just so strong in the topspin, even with the dive and the base plant from Hudson. Won't reach the baseball, but 2 out knocks. Gets you right back in the ball game.
And how many times, Huey, do we talk about get the ball in play?
That's all it is.
Get the ball in play.
I mean, if you don't, you stand no chance.
Right.
That was the key, is put it in play, good things happen.
It's like that 10-foot birdie putt that you hit 9 feet. He's got zero chance of ever going in. Tulo with a good swing. 0-1. He's about due to break out.
He is. You mentioned the 4 walks last night already. To me, that just shows you he's on the right path to getting that swing groove.
Atkins at second, Brad Hopp at first. Atkins the tying run. And another good swing. Now, if you're locked in,
base hits.
Those are hits. Those are fastballs in the hit me part of the zone.
And he knows it. That's why he took the deep breath right there. Just missed it. But now you gotta redefine your strike zone a little bit. You know, look away, react in.
Change up, and he saw it well. Pops it up, middle of the diamond for calling off great. And he makes the catch, but a very productive 3rd inning for the Rockies. They scored 3 runs. Brad Hopp a 2-run single, and it's 4-3 LA.
Lead over the Rockies as we head to the top of the 4th, and that means it's time for the Aflac trivia question. That question is: there are 6 infielders in Major League Baseball history who have earned a Gold Glove in each league. Who are they, guys?
That's a good question, Alon. I know one's in the ballpark. We've mentioned it before concerning this individual. Rafael Furcal with his 3rd at bat, an infield single and a walk. He scored a run and has 2 stolen bases. Jimenez needs to get his club to the dugout quickly. They just got 3 runs back for him. Baldo shaking off the first 2 signs. Change up, and this should take care of Furcal.
Well, he knew what he wanted to throw. And then he went out and executed, get that quick ground ball.
You know, sometimes when you throw a really good changeup, Huey, you can miss location and still have it be an effective pitch. But he not only had great, great arm speed on it, but he also hit his location, which was the outside corner, and down.
And that's why you saw Furcal out on his front side, didn't hit the ball very hard. The Tulo was able to throw him out easily.
Orlando Hudson, Orlando 0 for 2, riding a 10-game hitting streak. That's in there. Right center, well struck. Hop going back, can't get there. It's a double for Orlando Hudson. He now has an 11-game hitting streak, which matches his career long.
It was a curveball that didn't curve enough. And he hung this one over the middle part of the plate. Orlando stays on it and drives it. He really drives off that back leg. Brad tried to reach up there for it, just kept traveling just a little bit further than he thought. I think when he went for that ball, I wasn't sure if he misjudged it a little bit, but the sky.
So here's Manny. Manny's 0 for 2, struck out last time. Manny taking his time. Waldo's ready. Some pitchers would step off here.
No, he's just going to stay right there.
Say, I waited for you, you wait for me.
And the other thing I've seen what pitchers do too, when guys take that long, they'll go ahead and get the sign and be ready to throw as soon as he looks up.
Kind of quick pitch.
Yeah, kind of quick pitch him. Go ahead and get the sign. He's in the batter's box. He's fair game.
Since his first game with the Dodgers on August 1st, Manny has the best average in big league baseball, 386, including his work here in the first couple of weeks of 09. He's third in home runs with 21. Pujols leads with 23. That's fouled back. Third in RBIs with 66. Pujols leads with 74. Carlos Pena next with 68. Some kind of hitter.
Yeah.
Watch him right before the pitch comes. And a lot of hitting coaches have adopted this. They say most of the great power hitters in the game have a little bit of waggle, tilt with the top of the bat forward right before the pitch comes. Watch his hands, watch the bat. It's going to come forward just for an instant.
Yep.
And then he gets the hands back in a great hitting position, an explosive position.
Yeah, you're right. A couple similar guys in Gary Sheffield's that way. I mean, Gary has more of a bat waggle, but they both do the same thing. They get that bat and then they get it in that launching position. Manny's isn't quite as pronounced as Gary Sheffield's, but they do very similar things. Well, that's a timing mechanism for him, just to make sure he doesn't log up when he's wiggling that bat.
Change up, great block by Torrealba. I mean, that was a tremendous block, keeping Hudson with one out at second.
Textbook. Just drop to the knees. So go ahead, I'm going to just let it hit me in the chest or somewhere in the body. I just need to keep it in front. Both knees. Look at that. Doesn't get any better than that, Drew. I mean, you roll the shoulders just a little bit, and the ball just drops a couple feet out in front of you.
Good shift, block the 5-hole.
That's the definition of what he just did.
3-2, swung on and missed. Once again, Jimenez beats Manny Ramirez with a runner in scoring position on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Just went right back in the old country fastball and just blew it by him. Second time tonight. Manny has not been able to catch up. That ball was almost in Yorvid's glove before Manny finished his swing.
It has not been a high strikeout night for Jimenez. He has 3. McDonald wants the pitcher, and Manny twice now. But you're hardly out of the woods because here's Andre Ethier. Ball 1, Ethier, an RBI single, and a fly ball to left.
I like what Yorvit just did. He told him he was flying off on the pitches. That's why he's left 2 pitches up and away, taking that head and shoulder.
They're going to put
away.
him on.
Well, I like this. You think about Ethier and the damage he's done already against the Rockies. Go ahead and put him on. Take your chances with James Loney. Now I know Loney got a base hit, a double his first at bat tonight, but the numbers of what Ethier has done compared to Loney. You got to play the percentages.
And now Bob Apodaca will talk strategy on how to pitch to Loney. You know, one of the things that has helped Ethier, Joe Torre said before the ball game with Andre Ethier, he said last year it was like every day was an audition for him. Every day he had to earn his spot in the lineup. Torre went to him in spring training early on. He said, "You're my right fielder." He said, "You're going to be out there every day." He said he's matured, and one of the other areas that's helped him mature, and you and I both know this well in any section of life, he had a child in the offseason. He and his wife brought in a baby boy into the world. He was chatting with him about it, and his face just lit up, as we all do when we talk about our children.
Exactly. It doesn't make the 0 for 4s quite as bad.
That's exactly what he said.
Yep. And then the other thing is the confidence of your manager, saying you're going to be my guy. Something happens, you don't get a couple hits, I'm not going to take you out of the ball game or not start you the next day.
Strike one on Loney. High 1-1.
To me, Loney's a guy you gotta just pound the baseball inside. Big guy, doesn't strike out a whole lot, but he wants to try to get those arms extended, work in the inside part of the plate. That's exactly where they tried to go.
That misses. 3-1. Jimenez loses Loney. Russell Martin's next.
Randy Marsh looked over in the Rockies dugout. I wonder if somebody was chirping over there saying, where was that pitch? It looked pretty close. Might have been just a hair outside.
And he went changeup 3-1. And now the bases are loaded for Martin. Yeah, this inning started, he got for Collin a very good changeup. Then he hung a pitch and gives up a double to Hudson. Strikes out Manning. But now after the intentional pass to Ethier, he loses Loney. Bases loaded. You're at 85 pitches in the 4th inning. And your team got you within a run.
Yeah. It was a quick inning you're talking about, Drew. Go out there, have a clean inning. And get that offense rolling again.
Well, maybe you can learn from Cook last night. He didn't have great stuff, but managed to pitch 6 innings and only give up 3 runs despite 17 base runners.
Yeah, traffic all over the place. 2 or 3 times, bases loaded. Bases loaded right now for a ball, though. He's got to come up with a couple pitches to get Russell Martin out.
And it's 2-0. The theme that we talked about really before each one of his starts this year and going back to last year. And he's still a young man. He's still a developing pitcher. He's by no means a finished product, but he's consistently behind in the count.
Yeah, and you can't do that at any level, especially here at the big league level. Strike zone's a little bit smaller. The plate discipline is much better of these hitters.
Ground ball up the middle. That'll score at least one. Around third. Here comes Ethier. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Martin. And 2 of the runs the Rockies got last inning go back on the Dodgers side of things, so to speak. 6-3 LA. 4 RBI night for Martin.
Yeah, 4 already, but the 2-0 fastball just cuts the center of the plate. And even though Martin's only hitting in the 220s, 230s, you give him that kind of pitch, he's going to do something with it.
Well, Martin has hit very well against Jimenez. He's now got 7 hits in 16 at bats. And here's Matt Kemp.
Glendon Rush out tossing now in the bullpen for the Rockies. There's Rush's pitcher spot due up third next inning.
Matt Kemp needs a cane right now.
Yeah, he does. That's why he's using the bat. He's using the bat as a cane. There's a shin protector on, but that's not going to protect.
Wow, that's up high.
You know what? I thought that was on the foot. Guys react that way. Was this off the back leg?
And it's
it
above
was.
the knee. That's really unusual.
That is. Well, I've seen it go off that back toe before. Maybe the back shin, but not the back knee.
Jimenez 90 pitches in as Rush warms up. Kemp just needs time.
Yeah.
Tell you something else about Ubaldo that needs to change, and he has 19 strikeouts this year. This includes his work tonight, and 17 walks. Now I know there's a couple of intentional passes in there, but you look for a 2-to-1 ratio. With a guy with his stuff, it should be far better than that.
Yeah, 3-to-1 even.
Right.
I mean, for Ubaldo.
For Ubaldo, because he should be able to ring up. You know, last year 172 strikeouts. It should not be 1-to-1 or anywhere near that with his kind of stuff, but that's what it is right now.
Well, just the inability to command that fastball every inning. I mean, we've seen it in flashes tonight so far, but the consistency is just not there.
Here's the 1-1 on Kemp. Bluff to get Loney back to second. Loney is at second after walking. Russell Martin a 2-run single. He's at first. 6-3 LA as they hit in the fourth. Shattered bat. Barnes up the middle will grab it and tag the bag. In the inning, 2 more runs for the Dodgers with 2 outs. 6-3 ball game. The fourth inning, the Rockies will have the bottom third of their lineup. Clint Barmes, Yorvi Torrealba, and Ubaldo Jimenez scheduled. He's at 90+ pitches. Rush was up a moment ago. He assume he'll go out for the 5th inning. You just can't afford to get your bullpen this early.
No, you can't. I mean, the only other option is get a couple guys on, but then you could bunt them over. Yeah, kind of early still in the ball game. Then go out there and try to get 115 pitches.
Barma's behind 0-2. He hit the ball sharply to the third baseman Casey Blake his last time up.
As the game's gone along, McDonald's shown the ability now to get that curveball over for a strike. Didn't have it early on. Last couple innings, picked it up. Going right back to the big curveball.
Barmy, I thought, fouled off his foot. Evidently just stumbled out of the box. One out. That'll bring up Torrealba. Takes us to this date in history. Brought to you every night by our friends at Dex. Back in 1976 on April the 25th, Cubs center fielder Rick Monday rescues the American flag from 2 protesters who tried to set it on fire in the outfield of Dodger Stadium. Monday is still in possession of the flag and recently was offered $1 million for it. Turned it down. Talked to Rick about it during dinner tonight. Radio broadcaster, longtime radio broadcaster of the Dodgers. And Rick and his wife used the flag as one means to help raise money for military families around the country. In fact, his wife took it on a trek recently across the country, raised over $500,000, and they keep that flag locked up. It is extremely important to Rick, not only personally but also what he's been able to do in terms of raising money for military families, one of the causes he has supported for a long time. So well done, not only that day back in 1976 for Rick Monday, but well done over the last 33 years. And
true hero.
Yeah, raising money. What a good man Rick Monday
is.
Quite a player also in his day. Arizona State star. He was the first pick in the first ever draft.
Yeah.
I asked him about that tonight. He said, we were playing in the College World Series. We're sitting in the stands. We're waiting to go on the field, waiting for the game in front of us to finish. And a guy came up to me and he said, you just got picked in the first round. In fact, you were the first pick. I said, oh, okay. Well, I mean, he obviously knew he was about to draft, knew he was going to go. And said a couple of lawyers contacted him shortly thereafter, and they said, we want to represent you. And he said, well, my uncle's an attorney. He's going to represent me. And he said, no, not in your contract negotiation. We don't think the draft is legal, and we want you to be the centerpiece since you were the first pick of litigation against baseball. And he said, well, how long is that going to take? He said, oh, it'll be 2 or 3 years. He said, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and sign. Aaron Cook now pinch hitting for Ubaldo.
Yeah.
Well,
Clinton, a 3-run game, wants to save his bench. Ubaldo, 90-plus pitches. He's already given up 6 runs. He originally had Jeff Baker out on the on-deck circle. That's if somebody got on. And Cookie bounces one to short on a check swing. 1-2-3 inning for McDonald. It is 6-3 LA. We move on to inning number 5 at Coors Field. To you by Hyundai. Goodyear, Colorado Hyundai dealers. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service, warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. As we go to the 5th inning, the Rockies trailing 6-3. Glendon Rush takes over for Ubaldo Jimenez, who gives up 6 runs in 4 innings. This call to the pen is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 800-COMCAST.
Well, Mr. Do-It-All, Glendon Rush, and come in, be your long man, also be the bridge to the later inning guys. His 6th appearance, all the other previous 5 have all been on the road.
There's a strike, 1-1 on Casey Blake. You know, the Rockies had 4 scheduled off days in the first 18 days of the season. That's not unusual. They had a little bit more than everybody else in baseball. Most teams have played 1 or 2 more games than the Rockies have coming into tonight. But over the next 53 days, they only have 4 days off.
Yeah, it's either feast or famine. You have too many or not enough. Usually see it on the first week of the season. You'll have a couple just because of all the opening days. You want to have some spread out in case there's weather delays, so you still have the opening day ceremonies.
Curveball, and Blake's out in front of it. He lifts it to center field. Fowler's got it, and let's get our trivia answer brought to you by Aflac with Alana Rizzo. Alana.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. I'll go ahead and ask the question again. There were 6 infielders in Major League Baseball history to earn a Gold Glove in each league. You guys have any thoughts?
Well, I know one because I always remember mentioning Orlando Hudson when he was with the Jays, won a Gold Glove, and then he won one with Arizona.
That's right. Orlando Hudson is the first one on my list. Any other guesses, or you want me to just read them?
I think JT Snow won one with the Angels and then with the Giants.
Very good. Brett Boone also on that list. Robin Ventura, Omar Vizquel, and Matt Williams rounds out the 6, guys.
You know what, Alana? Omar Vizquel could be the first guy to win one in his 20s, his 30s, his 40s, and then let's just move ahead. And when he's 50 plus, he could probably still win one.
Absolutely, he's still going strong. Why not?
Tell you what, he is. Talk about a guy in shape. McDonald slices the 0-2 pitch into the crowd foul. He had to be, you know, Huey, you were a middle infielder, played most of your time at shortstop. He had to be one of the guys you always admired.
I really did. I mean, he was so much fun to watch because he made the game look so easy. I mean, you think about the no-hitter that Chris Bosio threw for Seattle. He makes a play on that. It's bouncing. He makes a bare hand play. He throws it to first. Most guys, and I played in a couple no-hitters, I'm thinking, I'm not going to bare-hand it. I'm going to use my glove if something happens. Oh, well, I'm not going to bare-hand it. But he was just so much fun to watch because he made every play look so easy.
That misses. You've told the story many times to me privately, and I think you've told it on the air. You played behind Nolan in a couple of his no-hitters. And one, he said you were more nervous than he was in the 9th inning. Strike 3 on the curveball.
It happened in his 6th no-hitter. And I was playing there. I made a play on Ricky Henderson. After that, there was 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and I was just praying they wouldn't hit me another one. I was scared.
You're not supposed to admit that.
Well, okay, I just did. Everybody heard it.
Well, the one guy you're supposed to be able to count on is the shortstop.
Yeah,
right?
Not at that point. I made my play.
Hit it somewhere else. Strike him out, Nolan. You're good at that.
You're good. I got Willie Randolph to fly out to right field.
Furcal hits the first pitch to center field. Dexter Fowler cruises back, reaches up, makes the catch. That is the first 1-2-3 inning of the evening for the Rockies. 6-3 LA. Insider.com every day. Be the first to enter contests and promotions for tickets, memorabilia, and other great prizes. Plus, get the local flavor of the Rockies' last 2 road trips with Tom Helmer out on the town. That's FSNinsider.com. Dexter Fowler against James McDonald. He takes ball 1. Dex, a deep drive to center field, tracked down by Matt Kemp, and then a walk and a run scored in the 3rd. Rockies got 3 in the 3rd. They went quietly last inning. Down by 3 runs, pulled down the line, and a nice pickup there by James Loney. You know, the guy who's not pressing at the plate, you know, there's conversations about other Rockies pressing individually and thus collectively. The one guy who, to me, who's handled himself very, very well every ball game. I mean, there's been a few guys, but Dexter Fowler, and he's the youngest.
You would think he would be the most nervous. Oh, going, but no, his swing right now is very pure on both sides of the plate. Just nice and relaxed up there.
Perfect case of baseball, Huey. He's 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. He's had 3 very good at bats.
And if you're not watching or listening, you look in the paper tomorrow morning, say, oh, if something happens, he doesn't get a hit, you always 0 for 3, 0 for 4, whatever it is, but 3 good at bats. Dougie, look up some numbers, Drew. Rick Monday, you know how much he signed for?
Oh, back in '65,
yeah.
Probably what, $4.7 million?
Yeah, 100,000. Compare that. You see this pitch? Compare that to the average of a first-round pick in last year's draft. Average was $2.98 million.
Now, Rick was the first pick.
Yeah.
This ball is to second, and Orlando Hudson will throw out Seth Smith. Well, Boris has what most people believe to be the first pick in the draft, the San Diego State right-handed pitcher.
Guy throws 102 or whatever it is.
He averages about 99 miles an hour, and who knows what they're going to ask.
Well, David Price got $5.6 million. Rick Monday, 100,000.
Yeah. Todd Helton's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Big swing, foul tip, 1-1. Rockies 3 runs on just 3 hits. All singles. Three and 1. The Rockies, since that opening series in Arizona, really haven't put up many crooked numbers on the scoreboard. 3 and 2.
And don't forget, fans of Coca-Cola, value packs are the best deal in the ballpark. They include 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, and parking for all for $49. They're available on all April games. Don't miss out by your Coca-Cola value packs today at ColoradoRockies.com.
Todd reaches on a walk. The name I was grasping for, that San Diego State pitcher for Tony Gwynn, is Steven Strasburg.
There's a good article in Sports Illustrated a couple weeks back about him.
I see one scout said he had him averaging 99 miles an hour. I mean, that's not one pitch. I mean, that's what he averaged with his heater for at least the first few innings. The guy was kept, you know, at some point you're going to retire the radar gun. Okay, he throws really, really hard.
I don't need to break it out anymore.
Yeah.
I wonder if I bet you their coach could still go out and hit him, though. Tony Gwynn.
I bet you he could. He may be the only guy in their program, though. Atkins drives one high and deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Atkins with his 3rd. Rockies back within a run.
They tried to come inside to Garrett Atkins. Four-seamer just, Garrett opens that front side up, gets those hands back, and gets launched off that stiff front leg. As soon as he hit it, he knew it was gone, just put his head down and started walking. Ball right up the runway out in left field.
Brad Hopp evidently went around. It's 0-1. First home run at 44 at bats for Garrett Atkins. 6-5 ball game. I got something for you this year on Mr. Strasburg. That's down low. Steve Strasburg of San Diego State this year is 9-0 with a 1.54 ERA. I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
He's thrown 70 in a third innings. How many strikeouts do you think he has?
Maybe 100.
135,
okay.
or about 2 an inning. Guess how many he's walked?
The guy throws that hard's got to be a little wild, maybe 50.
Strike 3 on a hook. 135 Ks, 13 walks.
Wow.
I think he's going to go real high and make lots of money. Garrett Atkins, a 2-run home run. Rockies within a run again of LA. 6-5 ball game. Brad Hopp last weekend in LA with a home run. Todd Helton, high fastball, no problem. Down in Phoenix, he goes deep. His first of the year against John Roush. Clint Barmas with a 2-run pinch hit home run last night to tie up the baseball game for a brief time. Clutch Plays of the Week brought to you by Amco AA MCO. Huey, you're supposed to do the
Well, I was going to do it, but I wasn't sure if you like to do that a lot.
Actually, I do. Hudson swinging at the first pitch, hits it down the right field line. Brad Hopp makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Glendon Rush. And that'll bring up Manny Ramirez. Manny tonight's 0 for 3. That's how scary this Dodger lineup is. Manny can be 0 for 3, and the Dodgers have 6 runs in 5 innings.
Just the balance that they have. 1 through 8.
On the outside corner for a strike. Manny with 531 career home runs. He's closing in on the immortal Jimmy Fox, Mickey Mantle, Jim Thome, who's still going strong.
Yep.
Jim's off to a nice start hitting the long ball. That just missed. And then Michael Jack Schmidt. Wait, let's do that again together. Michael Jack Schmidt. I like when it's better that way. Yeah. This is popped up and should be playable. Well, maybe not now. Oh! The wind kind of blew that close to the stands. Initially, when it went up, I thought it would be an easier play. 1 and 2 on Manny.
Well, the thing about it, I mean, that's Todd's the only guy that could possibly try to get to that ball. There, Barmas is over, shaded up the middle just a little bit. Todd's running and reaches out. I'm not sure where the wall is. Because the problem is you're running on that track over there, but you're not running on a straight line towards it. So usually it's about 3 steps, and then you're going to feel the wall. But when you're running at that angle, you just don't know how much more room you have.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Ramirez.
Ramon Troncasco is up in the bullpen for the Dodgers.
Good swing by Ramirez. That pitch off in the zone by Glendon Rush. Manny, born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He went to high school in the Bronx at George Washington High School. 3-time All-City selection in New York. In fact, he was the New York City Public Schools Player of the Year in 1991 when he batted .615 with 14 home runs in 22 games. He was inducted into the New York City Athletic Hall of Fame in '99. Swung out and missed, a trifecta. Glendon Rush fans, Manny, 3rd time tonight he's gone down.
All 3 times went down swinging. First 2 times was a fastball from Ubaldo. That time they went back inside, a little cut fastball from Glendon Rush, and boy, that head just flew off the baseball.
Andre Ethier 1 for 2 in a walk. He scored a couple of runs. He's driven in 1. Big curveball, just a tad bit inside. Glendon's such a valuable guy to have. Go short for you if you need to, and he also can give you length, and if there's an injury situation, you know he could start. That's what he's done the vast majority of his career.
We need those guys. They'll take the ball at a moment's notice. Glendon is that guy. Also the guy that's for me because he can come in the 5th inning, come in the 7th inning. I mean, those guys are invaluable. A lot of guys are out there in the bullpen and saying, "Oh, I can only pitch in this part of the ball game. That's it."
I think he's great to have down there in the pen. You know, you always have a mix of personalities. There's got to be some fun-loving guys because you're spending a lot of time 400 feet from your teammates hanging out. And not that you're not serious, not into the game, but Glendon Rush has such a great personality. Line drive left by Atkins. And Adam ball. Rush has seen 6, and he's retired 6. Rockies will come to back down by just a run in the 6th. freeze cam. Garrett Atkins at the plate last inning. Here's the McDonald pitch, and there it goes out of the ballpark. A 2-run home run for Garrett to get the Rockies within a run at 6-5. The Frost Brewed Coors Light freeze cam. Home run number 3 on the season for Atkins. And the new pitcher is Ramon Troncoso. Tulowitzki, Barmes, and Torrealba here in the 6th inning. McDonald goes 5 innings, gives up 5 runs, all of them earned on just 4 hits. He did walk 4. And he struck out a pair.
He was kind of all over the board, but with that offense left with the lead.
You know what was impressive in the bullpen last night for the Dodgers? That was Belisario, man. He throws hard.
My, 96 miles an hour. You're not going to see the same from Ramon.
Well, again, there's no Broxton tonight for Joe Torre. Their bullpen's a little bit thin. So guys like Troncoso, Moda, Belisario, I'm sure again, Omen, Quo, they're all going to have to step up.
Yeah.
Matt Belisle has begun to throw for the Rockies because Rush is due up 4th this inning. 1-2. Tulowitzki, a fly ball to right, pop to short.
And if you're Clint Hurdle too, it makes the way you manage the ball game differently. No one going into it that there's no Broxton on the backside. So if you're thinking about using a pinch hitter in the 6th or 7th, that you could say I can wait now. I can maybe hold them back because I can use them later because I don't have to worry about the hard thrower coming out of the pen.
Does make life a lot easier.
No, it does.
Strike 3. Tulowitzki gone. And that'll bring up Clint Barmes. Barmes ground ball to 3rd and a comebacker. Pinch hit 2-run home run last night. Both of Clint's home runs this year have come at Coors Field.
And that one last night, he just used those hands so nice on the inside part of the plate. That was fun to watch.
To 3rd. 2 outs. Today's E470 Road Ahead is brought to you by E470 and Express Toll, the best way to save time and money. Dodgers tomorrow afternoon right here on FSN, and then the first look at the Padres Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon. Thursday's a day off, and then the Rockies will travel to San Francisco to take on the Giants.
Well, San Diego series, Rockies will miss Jake Peavy. Chris Young on Monday, Josh Gear on Tuesday, and then Kevin Correa on Wednesday, the former San Francisco Giant.
Of whom the Rockies are very familiar. Jeff Baker in the on-deck circle. 6-5 LA in the 6th. Bounce toward Blake, and he gloves and throws to first. Good play by Casey Blake. And Troncoso comes on and works a 1-2-3 6th inning. We move on. 6-5 Los Angeles. 5, Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, and Alana Rizzo. A reminder, if your windshield is chipped or cracked, don't wait. Call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, or visit safelite.com. Little thing, I don't know if you heard about this, Huey, a little thing called the NFL, that's the National Football League draft. They do it annually late in April, and it's become a really big deal. And the Broncos had 2 #1 picks today. They selected 12th and 18th overall.
Really? I wasn't watching.
Okay. No Sean Marino, an outstanding running back from Georgia. And the the Broncos have had some success with Georgia running backs in the past, i.e. Terrell Davis.
You're right.
And they selected him with the 12th selection, if you missed it. And Robert Ayers, a defensive end from Todd Helton's alma mater, Tennessee. So naturally, I made my way over to Helton's locker, and I said, what do you know about Ayers? He said, I know he's big and he runs real well. He said, I didn't see him play a lot. He said, but I heard he's a really good player. He's about 270. Supposedly he can get up to about 285. Hopefully that works out for the Broncos. They need help in several areas. And of course, the guy who's really, really happy about that, our close friend Paul Egan's there in the middle of your screen, traveling secretary for the Rockies. And this ball is ripped to center field. A base hit for James Loney. First knock against Glendon Rush after 2 perfect innings. Of course, Eags went to the University of Georgia as an undergrad and is the biggest Bulldog fan in the country.
Right there, folks.
He should have been Matthew Stafford's agent, because I asked him the other day about Stafford. He goes, let me tell you what, this is the greatest kid in the world. He can make all the throws. He had the highest Wonderlic score ever. He said the Lions got to take him. And, of course, the Lions did take him. And now Eads has a Georgia Bulldog again to root for here in town. Well, Clint Hurdle's making his way to the mound. The bullpen door is open. Glendon Rush goes 2+. And it will be the major league debut of Matt Daly when we come back. 1-run ball game.
In the major leagues.
Martin, 2 hits, 4 RBIs tonight. Daly's first big league pitch in there for a strike. Torrealba sets up inside. And if you're going to miss, that's a good spot to miss it. Down low.
A very not unusual arm angle, but unique in the fact that he's not a sidearm guy, but he starts so low in a crouch. You're wondering where the ball is going to come out of. What angle? Very close to the plate.
Last year in Colorado Springs, a strikeout per inning pitched. You like to see that.
Yep.
Fewer hits than innings pitched in a great hitters league. That's good as well. In the air, right center field, and well struck. Dexter runs it down and then runs into the wall. Loney has to head back to first. What a play by Dexter Fowler. He's going to get a high five or maybe several from Matt Daly when they get to the dugout. We'll show you that again in a moment. Let's check in quickly with Alana. Alana's speaking. We can't hear, therefore you can't hear. We'll get that straightened out. Visit with Alana again in a moment. What a catch.
That was.
You know, off the bat, and everybody who's seen ball games here at this facility knows that there's a vacuum out there in right center field. That thing kept carrying and carrying. And Dexter, fearless, man. He knew the wall was coming up.
He covered some ground, too. And just those big, long strides. But that's what, I mean, that's the price you pay, though. If you're going to be the outfielder, you're going to hit the wall occasionally, but you got to catch that ball first and then worry about it later. And he'll have some bumps and bruises when he wakes up in the morning, but those can be iced down. He's young, catch the ball, nice play.
That pitch misses to Matt Kemp. It's 1-0. Kemp tonight is 1 for 2. He's hit by a pitch in the third inning that stole a base. Matt's hit now in every ball game but one this year for the Dodgers. He had a 14-game hitting streak initially.
Well, then even after this broke, he came back the following night as a pinch hitter and got a base hit.
Here's that Fowler grab again.
Well, Dexter's playing straight up, right behind second base, lined up between the pitcher's mound, and just goes after it and bumps into the wall. But the ground that he's able to cover, the long strides, and really not a chance to protect yourself before you hit it. Now that wall's padded out there, but still going that hard into it, it's going to hurt.
Scott Elbert throwing, left-hander in the Dodger pen. Good spot. 1-2. You know, it's padded, but, you know, Dexter's 6'4", and then the top portion of the fence is not really padded. And so the bullpen, the guys in the bullpen sitting up on the elevated seats can see the ball game.
Yeah, where Dexter hit.
Kind of a chain link.
Caught his shoulder.
Tight fence. Runner trying to move up. Chance to get him. Out at second base. Loney cut down by Torrealba. What a block and an even better throw to get James Loney.
Well, we've seen Jorvit now 2 times so far in the ball game come and block the baseball. And then he pounced on it and made this strong throw out to second base. Now Joe Torre's going to go out and argue this one, but he blocks it and is able to throw off the mask and in one motion make the strong throw. And then the sweep tag from Clint Barmas. And James Loney did not hesitate when he took off, and he's thinking he tried to slide underneath that with the high throw. Clint had to jump up there, but very quick, got it back down there.
I think James Hoy got it right. And I think from Joe Torre's perspective, he's saying, you know, the throw's up high, and it looks like Loney got underneath. Very, very close.
And Joe Torre, more than anything, going out there to protect his player. Loney thought he had it, but what a play from Jorvit to be able to block it, get up, and all in one motion make the throw.
Joe wanted to get warm also. He's been sitting there for 7 innings on a chilly night. 3-2 now on Matt Kemp. Matt Daly from Garden City, New York. You mentioned Bucknell University. So now we turn to Doug and we say, all right, how many have come out of Bucknell? 3?
23.
23.
Yeah.
Did you say that earlier?
I said it, yeah.
23 guys have come out of Bucknell and gotten in the big leagues?
Yep.
Including Christy Mathewson. Shame on me, I guess.
Come on now.
I didn't catch any of his games when he was with the Bison.
That was before they were on television.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Casey Blake with 2 outs and Kemp at first.
Looking to the on deck circle, Mark Loretta's grabbed the bat. Rocky killer the last couple games. Pitcher spot due up after Blake. Get this guy, Matt.
Rocky's pitch out, nothing going on. There goes Kemp, and it's fouled off by Blake. 1-1.
Don't forget, Coors Field is not only a great place to watch a ball game, it's also a great place to hold your special event. Most of these areas of the ballpark are available on non-game days, but you know what? Make it great for holiday parties, cocktail receptions, business meetings, and more, and you can watch a ball game. Call 303-312-2511 for more information. And looks like it might be raining a little bit now.
Yep, some folks starting to move underneath. Now the forecast was said 60% chance of rain. And other than the cool temperature, it'd been fine for baseball till now.
This is all right, though. You can play in this.
That's a strike. 1-2. Nuggets came up a little bit short in New Orleans earlier today, so it's now a 2-1 series. Nuggets in front.
They went 95-93.
They made a late run.
Yep. Daly's just going right after the hitters. Mixing in the fastball, breaking pitch. 1-2 count. Torrey likes to run in these situations. Matt Kemp, good speed over at first.
Kemp was leaning, and you know what? I think originally he was going to go, and Daly held the ball.
That's all it takes.
And Kemp had to shut it down.
You talk about disrupting the timing of hitters at the plate. Well, you do that the same way with the base runners. You hold the ball just a little bit longer, and after about 2 seconds, the guy at first base decides, you know what, I'm not going to try to steal.
I think he'd be
down.
I think he'd be going again here.
Yep. Got him. Ooh. Got him leaning, though.
Yes, you did. Kemp figures to be one of those guys that will be a 30-30 guy in his career. Not going, and again it's fouled off.
The thing that's also making it difficult for Kemp over there, we've already seen Daly hold the ball, but he's pretty quick once he decides to go to the plate. Last pitch, I had him at 1.15 seconds by the time he let go of the baseball or started his movement, and the ball was fouled off.
And again, you guys look for anything under 1-3.
Yep.
So that's real quick.
That's real fast.
Kemp's going, and it's on the ground, foul. Rockies in the bottom of the 7th will have a pinch hitter, and then Fowler and Smith, and hopefully others. Colorado in desperate need of a victory. Something positive to happen, get this club turned around in the right direction.
That's all it takes. Just something get you going, and it could be one swing of the bat, could be a pitch, could be any number of things. I think what just happened there, Randy Marsh said, you know what, he went to his mouth while he was on the dirt part of the mound, so that's a ball.
Yeah, it's a ball. That's right. It's 2-2 now. Slider again, pulled foul.
Let's take a look at this again. I mean, Randy Marsh immediately looks at Matt Daly, comes out from behind home plate. Said that you went to your mouth while you were on the mound. Let's the official scorekeeper know that is an automatic ball. And sometimes you'll see that the veteran umpire trying to make sure that the rookie knows who's in charge.
And Blake gets plunked. Mark Loretta's been in the on-deck circle, and he's starting to head down the stairs again like he's being called back. Are they going to go to DeWitt?
Take a look at the pitch to Blake. You know, he's really leaning over the plate, and he hit him right off the left elbow.
I think they could go to Ramon Castro.
Actually, it might be Troncoso, the pitcher. Go ahead and leave
I said Juan Castro. No, it's Troncoso. I'm looking now on the screen. I'm looking down at my notes. It's Troncoso. That's interesting. So again, you know what? This has everything to do with how thin their bullpen is.
Yes, indeed. I mean, even though they have a chance to maybe try to extend the lead here, they say, you know, I'm short on pitching out there. I'm going to go ahead and let the pitcher hit. Curious move, especially when after you have Loretta up there, as you mentioned, Drew, for as long as he was out in the on-deck circle.
So Troncoso with his 5th at bat of the year. He doesn't have any hits, but he scored a couple of, excuse me, he has 2 at bats. Looking at games, 0 for 2.
Good pitch. I think back to that play now earlier in this inning where James Loney was thrown out at second base with nobody out. Excuse me, with 1 out.
Runners going, and a foul ball. You may be wondering, why would Joe do that? Well, next inning, Troncoso's not going to hit. It's going to be a pinch hitter anyhow.
Right.
So if it's if you get Torrealba, if you have Torrealba throw somebody out, he'll start with probably Juan Pierre next inning leading off.
Or something happens, you have a little bit of movement from the infielders. He happens to dribble one through.
Strike 3. So Daly gets his first big league strikeout. He keeps it a 6-5 affair. Stretch time at Coors Field. Dodgers by a run. 6-5 for a couple innings. Top of the 7th. Ian Stewart will be the pinch hitter in the pitcher spot. Actually, bottom of the 7th, not top of the 7th. Tomorrow night at 10, it's Rockies Weekly. It's the show that goes deeper than just highlights, with exclusive interviews and manager Clint Hurdle, the latest news and analysis on the club, and also the plays of the week. That's Rockies Weekly, Sunday nights at 10 p.m. So Stewart will face Troncaso. Troncaso worked a 1-2-3 6th inning.
7th pinch hit appearance for Ian Stewart, leads the team.
At the knees for a strike. He has a pinch homer. The Rockies have 2 pinch homers this year. Barr missed the other one last night. Stewart was 0 for 4 last night, starting at second base. That's 0-2. Well, this is winning time in baseball, 7th inning or later. The NBA, you talk about the final 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
Outside. Unfortunately for the Rockies, in games decided 7th inning or later, the Rockies are 0-5 this year, and they've hit just .217 as a club in the 7th inning or later. And this is a pop up to shallow center field. 1 out. Dexter Fowler will be coming up. And again, we visit with Alana Rizzo. Alana?
Thanks very much. Nice to be back with you guys. Sorry about that earlier. I wanted to talk about Matt Kemp when he was at the plate, but he just made that catch, so it works out just fine. It's time for our Excel Energy fun fact. Matt Kemp slugged his first major league home run on June 1st, 2006, in just his 2nd at-bat at Dodger Stadium. In fact, he hit a home run in 3 straight games from June 1st to June 3rd, and then he hit 2 home runs off of Aaron Cook and the Rockies on June 11th. He's the first Dodger rookie and the 5th major leaguer to have 4 home runs in just his first 10 days with the team. That's your Excel Energy fun fact. And Energy Star appliances can save you up to 30% or more on your energy costs. Find out how you can be a star at responsiblebynature.com. Drew?
All right, Alana, thank you. Down low, 1-1 on Dexter. In fact, after those first 10 ball games, Matt called his agent and he asked him if he was going to get called up.
Renegotiate.
Well, no, he wanted to go, if he was going to go to the next level.
Yeah.
His agent informed him, Matt, no, this is the best there is.
As high as you get, pal. He did look pretty good during that little streak. I saw him.
It's not bad right now.
No, but I mean, just coming up, that first glimpse that you get of a player, like, wow.
And this is a pop fly to Manny and left. Right now, the Dodgers getting whatever they need on any given night. They're scoring a ton of runs. And they're getting good starting pitching. Broxton has been lights out in the 9th, sometimes the 8th as well. He's 6 for 6. And then guys like Troncaso have stepped forward.
You need guys like that. I mean, you're not going to be able to have your bullpen intact just like you would like to have it, though. You're not going to have your rotation. You're going to get players that are going to get hurt. You got to have to get guys in there and fill and do their role.
Weak ground ball toward Furcal, and he had a double clutch, and Seth Smith got up the line. That'll be an infield hit.
Oh, well, you know what? You hit it where they're not sometimes, and we've seen Furcal make this play numerous times, playing up the middle just a little bit. Seth off the end of the bat tries to circle around it. Ball came up, hit him right on the heel of the glove. Base hit for Seth Smith, and once he had the double clutch, though, that allowed Smith to beat it out.
Helton at the plate. Todd 0 for 2 and a walk. That's a strike. He came around on the Atkins 2-run home run back in the 5th inning. Prior to that infield hit by Smith, that was the last knock for the Rockies. It got the Rockies to 6-5, and that's where we're situated. Bottom of the 7th inning. 2 outs, 1 on. And a ground ball to short. Low throw, and Loney comes up with it. Hudson was over in the hole, so that was not an option for Furcal. Good job by Troncaso. As we go to the top of the 8th inning, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Good Saturday night crowd on a brisk night. Ian Stewart stays in the ball game in left field. Seth Smith comes out. And this call to the pen is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 800 Comcast. Alan Embry will work the 8th inning for Kyle Hudson and Ramirez scheduled.
Flip both the guys in for Call and Hudson over to the right side, where Alan Embry's had some success and no base hits allowed to right-handed hitters so far this year.
Rockies have played uphill throughout this game. The Dodgers got 4 runs on 6 hits in the first inning against Ubaldo Jimenez. Jimenez has the hook. James McDonald went 5 innings looking for his first big league win. McDonald departed. He gave up 5 runs on 4 hits. He walked 4, struck out 2. But he left with a lead. Here's the 0-1. Chop to third.
Nice start. Speedy guy in for Call on the chopper. Easy play for Garrett Atkins.
Let's check the big league scoreboard. In the National League, Atlanta beat up Cincinnati 10-2. Derek Lowe goes to 2-1. Bronson Arroyo his first loss of the year. Chipper Jones hit his second for Atlanta. Escobar is second. Alex Gonzalez is first for the Reds. Mets beat Washington again 8-2. Mike Pelfrey's 2-0. Daniel Cabrera took the loss. Cardinals won again. They're 13-5. They beat the Cubs 8-2. Cubs are now 500 at 8-8. Albert Pujols a grand slam. Bunted foul. His 7th home run of the year.
He's a good player.
Yes, he is. That's why you're an analyst. Milwaukee and Houston at Minute Maid tied at 8 in the 9th inning. Bunch of home runs in that game. Fielders hit a couple, his second and third. Billy Hall is second. Carlos Lee is fifth. Michael Bourne is first.
Bourne was inside the park, or was it?
He got the stand at second base and swing. Philadelphia in the 10th inning has gone up 6-4 on Florida. Ryan Howard is third in that ball game. Chan-Ho Park hit a home run.
Chan-Ho.
Here's the 1-1. And it's fouled back by Orlando Hudson. Dan Uggla for the Marlins hit his fourth. Jorge Cantu is third.
I'll tell you what, the Marlins, they've got the pitching to sustain that in the National League East.
And you know what? The two teams picked by everybody to either win the division or maybe be a wild card, the Mets and Phillies, the defending world champs, their starting pitching is not good. The Mets have maybe the best starter in baseball in Johan Santana. He won again yesterday. He's got an ERA of 0.70. But after that, the Mets are shaky, and Phillies giving up like 6 home runs every ball game. I'm exaggerating, but they have given up a ton of long balls.
Tried to outslug the other team. That's the only thing they can do.
They have the lineup perhaps to get that done. 2 outs, and Manny Ramirez coming up. Manny's 0 for 4 and 3 strikeouts. Arizona at home trailing the Giants 5-3. They're in the 7th inning. Randy Winters hit a home run, his second for the Giants. Eric Burns is third for Arizona. Justin Upton is first of the year. And Pittsburgh an early 3-0 lead on the Padres in San Diego. That ball game in the second. Center field. 1-2-3 inning for Alan Embry. Now the Rockies with 6 outs to work with offensively need to get the bats going. It's a 6-5 affair. Rockies will have Atkins, Hop, and Tulowitzki. It's time now for the Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Garrett Atkins got a high fastball against James McDonald and hit his 3rd home run of the year to get the Rockies within a run. The Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Troncoso's still out there. This is his 3rd inning of work.
He's going to have to be the long man. Sometimes the long man comes in the 4th inning. This time he came in the 6th inning.
You know, this is very much an American League approach by Joe Torre.
He has to.
Yeah, he has to. But, I mean, he's done it a little bit. You know, he had Mariano Rivera, future Hall of Famer, for so many years in New York, and asked him to get more than 3 outs. He's done that with Jonathan Broxton twice already this year. And now Broxton's down because of the number of pitches the last couple of ball games, one in Houston and last night in the 9th inning here. So Troncoso, he's going to ask to get 3 innings of work. Ground ball, right side. And Hudson throws out Atkins.
Hey, teachers, bring your students and join Steve Spangler and Kathy Sabin from 9 News and Dinger for a great educational opportunity before the game on Thursday, May 7th. There's lots of cool science and even a world record in science experiments. Don't forget that May 7th. Teachers, register your class by calling 303-ROCKIES before April 28th. Matt Belisle, Manny Corpus both up and tossing for the Rockies. If they don't score in this inning, be Belisle. If they do, you bring in Corpus.
Hopper's 2 for 3. He's got a hit in 7 of his last 8 in all 5 ball games against the Dodgers. It's only Rocky who can make that statement. You know, it'd be nice if Brad hit one that Manuel could catch right now.
That would be either him or Matt, either one.
I don't even care if they drop it.
Just as long as it's over that fencing area that separates them from the field.
Just as long as, yeah, they're the closest fielder to the ball.
I'd take a bloop and a blast. Bloop from Hop and a blast by Tulo and take the lead going into the 9th.
Last blast, any combination thereof.
Yeah.
No swing. Adrian Johnson at third base, 2-2. Good run on that fastball.
I was just thinking the same thing, Drew. The way that Russell Martin caught that ball working away from the plate. That late tail.
Dominican native Ramon Troncoso. 32 ball games last year with the Dodgers. Here's the 3-2 on Hop. And this is hit hard, but right at Orlando Hudson. 2 outs.
To catch that ball in self-defense. 1 Hop. Off the bat of Brad Hop.
Troy's 0 for 3. Tulo trying to snap an 0 for 12 slide. He is better equipped this year. That's something he talked about late in spring training. Better equipped now to deal with the bad things that are inevitably going to occur. The slumps, they're always around the corner. I mean, he had such a tremendous rookie year. And his club goes all the way to the World Series. And then a tremendously disappointing year last year. This ball slicing away from Ethier, and Andre makes another running catch. That's his 3rd outstanding play of the ball game.
To the right center field, and this one to the line.
Pretty. 3 scoreless from Troncoso. 6-5 LA. Ninth inning in Lodo, 6-5 Los Angeles with Jeff Houston and Alana Rizzo. I'm Drew Goodman. Post-game show to follow. For more on that, here's our man Tom Helmer. Tom?
Yeah, after the ball game, of course, we'll get you down into the clubhouse. We'll also talk about the Daily Show, the Major League debut of Matt Daly, and we'll talk about Manny being Fanny. Struck out 3 times today. First time in a Dodger uniform, he has struck out 3 times. We'll have that all coming up after the ball game. Drew?
You didn't write that, did you?
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. That came from this noggin right here.
It did.
Manny being Fanny.
Yeah, it took you a while to come up with that, didn't it?
It took about 4 innings. I really had to craft it. But it's gold. It's gold, baby.
Well done. All right, Matt Belisle is on, and he'll face Andre Ethier, James Loney, and Russell Martin.
That's why Clint had both these guys up and tossing Matt Belisle with the game still a 1-run deficit for the Rockies. You bring him in instead of your closer.
Belisle hopes to give the Dodgers belittle. The hit. It's contagious.
You and Tom.
Yeah, poets. Drops the curveball on him.
69 miles an hour. Typically that curveball he throws up there 72 to 74.
Andre Ethier has been described as a perfectionist, which, you know, is not a bad quality, especially when you want to work to become as close as you can to perfect in an imperfect sport. Ethier lined out to Garrett Atkins. I mean, he roped the ball in his last at bat. Strikes out here, and he was muttering under his breath. And I mean, not that you're happy about it, but I mean, you can't hit it any harder. You just hit it out of ball.
Yeah, you muttering the last time. You're certainly going to be muttering to yourself now. Hyundai Cam, boy, the bite on that pitch down and in. You just can't get on top of it as a left-handed hitter. And Ethier's going to be talking to himself a little bit more now.
Don Mattingly turned and said something to him. James Loney, 2 hits and a walk tonight, 2 for 3. Huey, you watched from Denver the Rockies 3 ball games in Los Angeles. You've now watched basically 2 whole ball games here at Coors Field up close and personal. Your thoughts on the Dodgers? Are they as good as they've played thus far?
I don't think they're quite as good as they've played, but they're a very good ball club. Right now, I think they're distinguishing themselves as a class of the National League West. That's for sure. I just look at it. You know, can some of these guys continue to hit well over 300 for the whole? Yeah, maybe, but just the production they're getting, the balls that they're hitting, not hard, but finding holes. I still think they have big issues pitching wise.
Pitch misses. I think their offense will be steady throughout the season. I think their defense is going to be very good. And if they get enough pitching, nobody ever has 5 guys you roll out there, and you know, this side of the 70 Baltimore Orioles.
You know, if they get Kuroda back, that'll help them. But I look at it after Chad Billingsley and the kid we're going to see tomorrow, Clayton Kershaw, has a nice arm. But then you got Stoltz, the young man that McDonald who threw tonight, just labored through 5 innings.
3 balls and a strike on Loney. Ball 4.
Hey, Rockies fans, stay up to date all season long with team text alerts and video alerts for your mobile phone. Text Get Rockies to 65246 to sign up now, or visit MLB.com/mobile.
Give you some numbers that are up to date through that walk. The Rockies have struck out 94 hitters as a staff and walked 68. Not a great ratio.
No, it's not.
The Dodgers, by contrast, have struck out 129 and walked 64. A 2-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, and that's why they're leading the division right now.
And here's something else. Coming into tonight, the opposition has hit .219 against the Dodgers pitching, and you'd say, you know, offense versus defense, the weak link with the Dodgers, if there is a weak link, is their pitching. And the opposition hitting just 219. The Rockies pitching staff has allowed the opposition to hit 304.
Yep.
And they're always going to have a higher average because there's a lot of hits at Coors Field. But hold on. The Rockies have played only 4 ball games tonight, the 5th at Coors Field.
Right. I look at some of the numbers, though, for the Dodgers in the place they play in L.A. at night. The ball doesn't travel quite as well, but those are alarming numbers if you're a Rockies fan, over 300.
The Dodgers have played 11 games, including tonight on the road, just 6 at Dodger Stadium. And they've played in some good hitters' parks. They just came from 3 in Houston.
Yep. And had a chance to, they only won 1 there, had a chance to win 2, if not 3 of those ball games.
Yeah, they've played down in Arizona also. Good hitters ballpark. 1-1 on Russell Martin. I still subscribe to the thought that, especially in this sport, you are never as good as you think you are on your best day, and you're never as bad as you may feel like you are on your poorest days.
Yeah, but on your good days, in a team that gets that from out of the gate, sometimes that carries you throughout a whole season, though.
Runner going, and Martin on the hit and run protects Loney, chops it foul.
Well, Russell Martin's mad at himself. He saw the hole over between first and second. Clint Barmas having to go cover. Right after he fouled that off, he was telling himself, man, if I would have just tried to hit the ball a little bit more, stayed inside of it, I could have hit it to right field.
Shallow left. Here comes Ian Stewart. He gets under control and makes the catch. 2 outs as Martin is retired, and that'll bring up Matt Kemp.
Ian had you mentioned get under control. He had to battle the lights just a little bit. The light standards, the way that ball was hit, didn't get up above it, stayed in the lights, and when he went after it, it was one of those helpless feelings. You're okay, when's it going to come out of there? And that's why you break down. You don't run quite as hard, and that's the extra work that Ian's trying to put in the outfield play during batting practice. Trying to get those reads off the bat.
He'll handle it. He's a very good athlete. He's a tremendous soccer player also. Kemp hits it foul down the right field line, out of play. Kemp's been on 3 times in the game. I'm not trying to beat a broken record. But tonight, again, 6 walks by the Rockies staff and a hit batter. That's 7 freebies. That's just 1 an inning, basically.
And you can't defense it. That's the thing. You tell anybody from, we tell our little league teams that too. You got to throw strikes. If they hit it, they hit it. But you walk the guy, there's nothing I can do for you.
Dodgers have 9 hits, so that's 16 base runners, which averages out. They're in the 9th inning now. Averages out to 2 an inning. You have 2 guys on every inning, you're going to score some runs.
Right, and then the way the Dodgers are going on top of that, seems like everything that hits falling in there, finding a hole. And then all the damage. I look at that first inning, they did all that damage with 2 outs.
0-2. Now the pen tonight has been very good. They've picked up 4 2/3 so far. No runs, just 1 hit allowed. Glendon Rush, 2+ innings. 1 hit, no runs. Matt Daly in his big league debut had a scoreless inning. Alan Embry had a 1-2-3-8, and Matt Belisle has walked 1, but he's got 2 outs here in the 9th. And in the bottom half of the 9th, the Rockies will have Barmas, Torrealba, and Stewart. No Broxton. This ball is hit toward Brad Hoppe in right. He'll make the catch. The Rockies will look to rally in the bottom of the 9th inning. Barmas will lead it off. 6-5 LA. 5 since the 5th inning when Garrett Atkins made it 6-5 with a 2-out, 2-run home run. Clint Barmes will lead it off. Ramon Troncoso out there for his 4th inning of work. The first 5 innings from the starter, James McDonald. Fans, a reminder, feed your Rockies fever at Taco Bell. The Rockies need a couple of runs for a win. And also to feed you tomorrow between 4 and 6 in the afternoon with 4 tacos for $1 with the purchase of a drink. Barmes, Torrealba, and Stewart. Rockies on their bench still have Jeff Baker, Ryan Spilborghs, Omar Quintanilla, and the backup catcher Chris Iannetta. The pitcher spot is the 5th spot in the order.
That's where that double switch came in a couple innings ago. Get Barmes on there, you can run him over with Torrealba.
And here's the deal also. It's the second look now for the hitters at Troncoso. And you hope that pays dividends. Barmes' first time bounced to 3rd, fell behind 0-2 in the count. Barmes the near